Former President Donald Trump is scheduled to be in Columbus later today to speak at the Georgia GOP convention. It comes a day after federal charges were unsealed. Trump faces 37 charges related to keeping classified documents at his Mar-a-Lago estate. Prosecutors shared these pictures saying the former president kept the papers in various spots, including a shower, a ballroom, even his bedroom. Atlanta News First political reporter Doug Reardon is live this morning in Columbus at the GOP convention. Doug, you've been talking to people there, including Trump supporters. What are they telling you?
Right, Megan. Well, people here have largely defended the president and derided this as political, and we expect this to dominate the president's address here in Columbus today. Whenever we know this about the president, whenever he faces a controversy, he tends to capitalize on it. In fact, when he was charged in April in state court out of New York City, he actually saw a bump in the polls. But we have to remember the context for this here in Georgia. The very next round of indictments likely could come out of that Fulton County case that is still being investigated right now. We have a timeline for that. They could come as early as the end of this summer. And so we're, of course, keeping that in mind as we watch his address here tonight, and we're sure that the Fulton County DA's office is as well. But the significance of this being his first public appearance since that announcement of the indictments is massive. He's already made comments and statements online deriding the charges as political, calling it the boxes hoax in reference to the stacks of boxes he just talked about, documents found at his Mar-a-Lago estate, and we can expect him to do much of the same deriding of the investigation here today. But the Justice Department and Special Prosecutor Jack Smith in particular reminded that these charges are a matter of national security.
Our laws that protect national defense information are critical to the safety and security of the United States, and they must be enforced. Violations of those laws put our country at risk. Adherence to the rule of law is a bedrock principle of the Department of Justice, and our nation's commitment to the rule of law sets an example for the world. We have one set of laws in this country, and they apply to everyone.
The president said he will appear in Miami in federal court on Tuesday around 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Of course, we'll bring you full coverage when that happens. He is set to speak here in Columbus in just a couple hours at 2:30. We're in Columbus tonight. Today, Doug Reardon, Atlanta News First.
Yeah, we can see a pretty large crowd